energy usage ongoing and things like that. So what do we provide? Well, the first thing is CRC, Carbon Reduction Commitment Discovery. Many organisations are not 100% sure exactly what they should be registering, exactly which buildings are going to be involved, should they split up into multiple units or aggregate into a single. And also, what are the qualifying properties, what are the qualifying meters within each of those properties, and what are the periods of the energy usage that they need to register. And then once that has been gathered, then actual registration itself, which is between April 2010 and September 2010. And then once registration has happened, then putting a system in place to manage this ongoing is the next thing that people are looking for us to do. Then once the system's in place and registration has occurred, then you'll be looking most likely at actual energy savings projects. So both the surveys to identify where you can get the savings, and then the projects themselves and associated funding, if possible. This is a little slide taken from the British Standard 16001 series, which looks at the energy management life cycle, which is basically starting with your monitoring and measuring, so finding out what you have, looking at some corrective or preventative action, doing an internal audit, making sure that it worked with a management review, feeding back into your energy policy, planning, implementing, and then basically just a continuous cycle of checking corrective action and just making everything ongoing, incrementally more energy efficient. And it is this system, it is this life cycle that our CRC energy management system can assist with. So, the system itself, at basis it is a compliance system. It's a CRC compliance system which will help you minimise any fines, maximise your league table position, which therefore will maximise your annual rebates. It was the first system to be certified by CIBSE, the Chartered Institute of Building Services Engineers. Communities and local governments certified it for carbon footprint, and it is on the NHS approved list of software and systems for the carbon reduction commitment. It produces an audit trail as part of what it does. It produces an audit trail which will ensure your ongoing compliance, and if you have the likes of the Carbon Trust Standard, then it's there. It can also produce your evidence pack automatically, your footprint report, logbooks for each of your buildings, as well as having building level and organisational level dashboards. And what problems does the system solve, if you want to look at it that way? Well, one of the main things that it will do is almost starting at the bottom going up. So in a lot of organisations there may not be a defined process for energy management or collating together the energy usage, and this will assist in creating that process. What we find as well in a lot of organisations is that finance might have the energy bills, but facilities management might have some of the information on projects that have happened. This can basically bring all that together and then remove that kind of single point of failure, be it from the bills side of things or the project side of things. It also assists with the actual collection of the data in the first place, because we can link in with automatic meter reading hardware and software to bring those usage readings straight into a system that can then be reported on for carbon reduction commitment. And it also then assists, of course, with the personal and corporate liabilities, because you have an audited system which itself is removing the single points of failure, and therefore you have a more distributed liability. So the system itself, just have a quick look at a dashboard. So for example, you can have a look at your organisation's carbon footprint, your meter data, so you know what's covered by AMR for your electricity, gas and other, and what isn't. So you can see at a snapshot for year one, are you heading towards getting a maximum rebate or not? And this is what the financial people will often want to know. You can also have links into all of your documentation, so your carbon energy management plan, your carbon reduction or your carbon trust standard certification documents, your national indicators for the public sector, etc. Some other items on the energy management system is that we have put into the system what are called dynamic savings. So the different projects, be they on boilers or air conditioning systems or heating systems, the building itself, windows, doors, whatever your projects are can be linked in with the price of energy that you're paying. Therefore, your return on investment can move out or back depending on the price of energy. Multiple users can update the system because oftentimes there's distributed people who need to feed in the information. It also allows for automatic production of energy performance certificates and display energy certificates. So if you have to produce a lot of display energy certificates each year, this can help really drive down the cost for you as an organisation of doing that. And also, of course, it can produce sustainability evidence for putting into your sales tenders, putting into your end-of-year reports to prove that you are managing your energy and ongoing reducing it. A couple of organisations who are currently using products and services. The system is in place across the board in public sector, universities, schools, the private sector. Many people using it with buildings to the tune of thousands of buildings in an estate, down to just a couple of buildings. It helps manage all of that. So that's us at Carbon Credentials. Thank you for listening. And any questions, there's our email, info@carboncredentials.com, our telephone number 0845 543